guys have all heard me say this over the years, but when you talk about the greatest recruiters of all time, and obviously what you've done as a head coach speaks for itself, but greatest recruiters of all time, this dude's somewhere in the top three.
Got to be.
Well,
and everybody will say it. Like, you instilled fear. When you would walk into gyms, coaches would be like, oh, shit.
Well, I came in the era where you couldn't let nobody outwork you. I mean, in other words,
and you had to be creative.
Yes, I'm in Austin Peay.
There's no creativity
23
anymore.
Years old.
Yeah. Right.
And what do I know?
Well, I've never heard of anybody turning the clock back.
Oh no,
that's big time.
How great is that?
6:15 in the morning with the mother.
Yes.
She had no idea what time it was.
12 hours.
So what'd she say? I'm going to head to bed?
No, I don't know. I kept changing the conversation, the subject, and we kept talking. And I waited all night. Literally,
so good.
We talked all night long.
All right, let's get to your team.
Hold on. This is all
Tim.
True. So a couple of years ago, we're in Houston. I run into you at the airport, and I asked Coach. I was like, Coach, you got any plans this summer? I was like, going on vacation? He said, I don't go on vacation. And clearly, I mean, you're having to revamp rosters every year. Now I guess that works to your advantage. Moving on to your team, how do you feel about some of these new guys coming into the fold? What do you look forward to in coaching these young men, and what can we expect from the Seminoles?
I didn't think very much of the portal a year or so ago. I love the portal now. Because
you better love the portal. You got no choice, Leonard.
Because it has given me. See, I've always built our program from within, and we've had juniors and seniors that were freshmen and sophomores, and so I always had a hierarchy, but that no longer exists.
Sure.
So now I was able to meticulously find guys who fit the system that we've been accustomed to playing. Sure. I got 3 guys I can throw the ball inside to. I got much better perimeter shooting. And the quality of our depth has improved. I can play 10, 11 guys and not lose very much. And so we back the kind of, now the challenge is how do you bring 9 new players into a system with only 1 junior on the team and be ready to play and be efficient on November the 4th. It's a little bit more of a challenge for all of us. And I know most coaches are finding it somewhat difficult to get everybody playing in sync with the way we play. We more read and react offense as opposed to running set plays. So every time the ball moves, a guy got 3 or 4 decisions, he got to make it in 0.5 seconds. Do I kick it ahead? Do I use the ball screen? Is he slipping? Do I turn the screen down? Do I have throwback? Are they squeezing from the strong side? Are they squeezing from the – you got all those decisions to make. And when you're coming out of high school, I have 5 high school guys, 3 portal guys, and National Junior College Player of the Year. So when you're coming out of a system where you've been the man, in order for your team to be system, now you got to be one of the men, it's a big adjustment within itself.
Yeah. It takes time, and you don't have a lot of time.
No, you don't have a lot of time. So I'm hoping that we have found the right formula, that we're making the rest adjustments so that we all can be on the same page come November the 4th.
So Jameer entered the portal, comes back from the portal. How important was it to have a guy that can help teach these new players all of the stuff, all the principles of your system, your defense, all that?
He has a lot of experience. He's a second-year player, okay? But Jameer, he went from averaging 9 points a game at VCU to 15 with us. So he's my most experienced, consistent player coming back. Taylor Bourne and Chandler Jackson are my 2 other experienced players.
Barely played.
And so these other guys now have to learn to adjust. And when you are the man, and you got to go out and get 20 or 25 points for your team and win every night, you have to pace yourself in order to sustain your effort for long periods of time. Well, that's not what we do. And so that's a big adjustment from those guys, cutting hard every possession, picking up 94 feet, trying to score in the first 6 seconds, moving. So it's been extremely challenging for us as a staff to make sure that we're prepared and with so many new guys, and then let's figure out how we take advantage of everybody's skill set.
You've got a freshman in Daquan Davis.
Yes.
Out of Overtime Elite.
Yes.
And I noticed when you signed him, you said intense competitor.
Yes.
How much do you see that day in, day out?
Well, I need to elevate that. If there's a word higher than intense and competitive, y'all need to help me with that. I mean, because he's only 6 foot, but he'll fight an elephant. I mean, he's a guy who he's been kind of nursing a little minor injury, and he's diving on the floor and more than anybody on the team. He's just a guy who is extremely competitive, along with A.J. Swinson. I mean, those guys, they come in as freshmen with the demeanor that we like. We feel like mentally, emotionally, they don't have to make much of adjustment.
All right, you're 76. 76.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
You look.
I mean, again,
look
you hear it all the
46.
time. You hear it all the time, don't you?
No, not really, because I don't pay any attention to it. I don't
now
adjust.
he's paying attention.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
10
got him
years
locked
ago,
in.
somebody came in and gave an interview in my office. They said, how much longer you going to get this? You going to do this? I said, what the hell are you talking about? I don't fish. I don't hunt. I don't play golf.
Right,
You don't go on vacation.
I mean,
Supposedly,
That's what I'm saying. That's what he does.
he cooks well. He says he cooks the best ribs, supposedly, but
hold
nobody's
now.
seen it.
I'm the best male cook east of the Mississippi.
But nobody's seen this. Stan
Oh, no.
Jones says, like, I hear it, but I've never seen it.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't have time to cook. But now I make
Man,
casserole.
you see enough of Stan anyway. Where it's
Hey, listen, I make enough. I do make casseroles for my team. Bar none, I make the best macaroni and cheese in the world, not the United States.
Bar none.
I'm talking in the world. Yes, I'm bar none.
Is that why
Just
Jameer's back?
ask my players when you see them about my macaroni and cheese.
Last one.
They're coming in there next.
Is this like a tactic? You give him some mac and cheese and then you just
No. And I have, and occasionally I'm able to make it. I'll make 3 catering trays of macaroni and cheese, and I make another dish called corn pudding.
Oh, it's good.
Yes.
That sounds good.
And you asked them about my
That
corn pudding
sounds
and my
good.
macaroni and cheese.
Give me a quick answer on this one. We only got a minute or so, but again, what I was getting at was, hey, listen, everything's changed over the last year or two, and I know what you're about. I know what you stand for.
Mm-hmm.
I know how you were about NIL early, even, and education. How much it means to you for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer do you think you want to do this with all these changes that have happened in the last year or so?
But see, I've always had to adjust. See, I came through segregation. I had to adjust. Okay, and if I worry about making adjustments, I'll still be drinking at the colored water fountain. Okay, so the changes don't bother me. You got to make them. If you sit around and make excuses about you don't like this, you don't like this, you do less about making progress. So I have whatever the rules and regulations are, whatever they do, I just wish that we were a little bit, as coaches, we were a little bit more involved in the decision-making process. Like, for instance, 100%. The thing that they're moving to is, I think, some type of evaluation on the NIL thing where they're going to have a rating system, something like that. Now, if we have to go by that, then Devin Vassell's would not have been very valued. Right. Malik Beasley wouldn't have been valued. Terrence Mann would not been wouldn't have high value. So how are you going to evaluate with a scale or how are you going to do that? Like right now, people have us rated toward the bottom of the ACC. Nobody in here can name me 5 players off my team. And Al Thornton wouldn't have been rated. So my point to you, but nobody's held accountable for that. So I think that I do have some questions that concern me moving forward.
Rightfully so.
I would love to have a convention that all the basketball coaches could attend.